Chen Chang Lee, 26-year-old native of Taiwan, makes his major league debut. Just the 9th Taiwanese-born player to appear in the major leagues, the first for the Cleveland Indians. And what's really impressive is that CC Lee is only 13 months removed from reconstructive right elbow surgery. And yet here he is back and making his major league debut for the Indians. He's a bit of a cross between Vinny Pistano and Joe Smith. Sidearm maybe not as pronounced as Joe Smith,
right,
but somewhere in between the two. High ball one to Salvador Perez, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Indians originally signed him back in 2008. That's when he pitched for the Taiwan Olympic team that competed in Beijing, China. Out of play in that Olympics. He pitched against the Cuban national team, which is widely regarded as a very good international club. And in a starting role, he went 6 2/3 in that Olympics contest and only gave up 1 run on 3 hits. Caught a lot of people's attention. Out of play. In his career in the minor leagues, coming into this year, an ERA of an even 3 in 138 games pitched. Full count to Salvador Perez.
Well, with nobody out here, we'll see if Ned Yost starts him. I think he will, with a 1-run lead, nobody out. Start the runner, but this would be a good time. If you can get a swing and a miss, you'd get him a strike him out, throw him out. He doesn't start him.
Up and in, almost hit him. And that goes to the backstop. Down to second goes Butler, and the Royals have their first 2 on here in the 5th inning. Mike Moustakas will be the batter now, 0 for 2.
Well, that's one you're not looking for on a full count. He gets underneath that one, and that one takes off up and in. He's got to bail and hit the dirt. So Kansas City will start with the first 2 men aboard. They did that last inning and scored a pair of runs.
Inside he misses, ball 1. You never know for sure how a player is going to react in his first major league appearance. Moustakas sends one high in the air to right field. Drew Stubbs over. Michael Bourne is there. Bourne will take it. And the runners hold one away. Some guys are very relaxed and very comfortable and no big deal, and other guys are shaking like a leaf.
Yeah, well, it looks like it like that they may be relaxed and no big deal, but it has to be a big deal for any time you come into a game, your first major league appearance. It's that adrenaline's flowing, it's rushing. You're probably moving 100 miles an hour, and you have to just slow it down. I think maybe that first out might help them right there.
Yeah, hopefully it will. Kevin Cash, the Indians bullpen coach, told me that Preston Guillemette, he said, boy, he's one of the coolest cucumbers he's ever dealt with in a first experience like that. He said a lot of guys, boy, you go to hand them the baseball and their hand is shaking,
yeah,
because it's the first time and
yeah,
emotions are running high. But he said Guillemette handled it very well.
Well, he ended up coming into that game. They couldn't bring him in earlier with Masterson, the game that he had bases loaded, and
he ended up getting 2 outs, pitched well.
Pitched very well.
High pop on the infield.
There you go. Now he gets his second out. So now he can.
Mike Aviles has it 2 away. So CC Lee, after walking Perez, comes back to get Moustakas and Kane, and now David Lowe coming up. If he can get David Lowe, he'll be doing something, because the Indians have had a tough time with this Northeast Ohio native. Though they kept him down 1 for 8 coming into today's game in the series, but a single and a run scored in the second, then a bunt single and a run scored in the fourth. Speaking of debuts, I mentioned, you know how it is for pitchers. Well, when David Lowe made his debut, got his first big league hit in a game against Minnesota, and he said he got down to first base, and Justin Morneau was talking to him, and they were giving him signs. And I don't think he saw any of the signs that were flashed to him at third base.
Yeah, you can't talk. You got to look.
There's a high fly ball,
nice
center
job.
field. Michael Bourne comes in, camps under it. And C.C. Lee does the job, giving the Indians some much-needed relief here in the fifth. 4-3 Kansas City.